Hello ladies and gents. Right, I was looking at the .gov.uk website. Buried in there is a very interesting little snippet. Now, I'm not taking anything out of context. I am going to read the official documents as presented by the UK government. The no vaccination scenario assumes that no other interventions are implemented to reduce incidence and mortality. Therefore, the findings presented here should be interpreted as the impact of the vaccination programme on infection and mortality, assuming no additional non-pharmaceutical interventions were implemented. In practice, it is impossible to predict what interventions would have been implemented in the absence of vaccinations, although it is reasonable to assume that lockdown measures would have remained in place for substantially longer and that new lockdown measures would have been put into place to reduce the pandemic's impact. Similarly, it is likely that people's behaviour would have changed in response to the rising case and deaths. Here's the interesting part. Consequently, over time, the state of the actual pandemic and the no vaccination pandemic will become increasingly less comparable. For example, recent results from the no vaccination scenario show that the pandemic, in the absence of vaccination and additional interventions, would have peaked due to natural immunity. So we find ourselves now being told that the cases are rising and rising and rising. So let me read that last paragraph again, just so we can let it sink in. Consequently, over time, the state of the actual pandemic and the no vaccination pandemic will become increasingly less comparable. For example, recent results from the no vaccination scenario show that the pandemic, in the absence of vaccinations and additional interventions, would have already peaked due to natural immunity. Straight from the horse's mouth, the UK.gov website.